Hello. Tonight let's talk about Eve and the Garden of Eden. That's right, that's where it all began, for humans anyway, on this planet was Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. As I began this study, it didn't take long for me to realize that, wow, there's so many concepts involved and details involved in the Garden of Eden that we can bring right into the 21st century. God laid down a concept-rich story for us that he recorded in the Bible over a long period of time. Okay, enough about that. Let's get right into the story. You know, as I began to read about Eve, it was very clear in Genesis chapter 2 that in so many ways, Eve is just like we are today. She was created by God. She was special in every way. Everything that she said, everything that she did, her whole place on this planet, she was very special. Why? She was created by God for man to be his helpmeet, his equal. And the Bible talks about that she was created to be his equal, not under his feet, not behind him, beside him. Now, did things change later on? Yes, they did. And we'll talk about that. But that was God's plan in the beginning. Some things that I quickly realized about Eve as I was reading her story, and it's in Genesis 1 through 5, you'll read about the Garden of Eden and Adam and Eve, is that Eve was unique among women, among any other woman, including all of her daughters. She was, first of all, she was created by God, literally by God's hand. She was created from a rib from Adam. She did not have any parents. She was not born. She had no grandparents, no siblings. She had no past. She was created. She woke up as an adult into the Garden of Eden, and the first person she met was Adam and God. And so that's all that she knew in the world. Another thing about Eve is until she was deceived by Satan, Eve was innocent in every way. She didn't know pain or disappointment or hurt or lack of provision or threat from the world or anybody in the world. She was innocent in every way. And I think that Eve was probably the smartest woman ever on the planet of the earth because she was created by God like God, and she was perfect in every way. Isn't that something to think about that with her? You know, she came into the Garden of Eden, and it was a place where it never rained. God watered the garden through a mist. Can you imagine that? She didn't know rain in the beginning. It just wasn't necessary. She came into a situation where God had commanded Adam not to eat of a certain fruit. And we'll talk about how that happened and the consequences of all of that later on. But there were some restrictions, very few, but there were some restrictions that she was created into. I would like to say she was born into it, but she didn't. She was created into it, and that was her inheritance. Okay, so I'm going to challenge you to read about Eve in chapters 1 through 5 in the book of Genesis, and I'll come back to you in the next day or so, and we'll pick up from there. Just always remember that we women are created special. We were created for a purpose to be special by the hand of God. I love you. I'm praying for you, and you have a good day tomorrow. Bye-bye.